Hello, everyone. Judy Weber with Girl's Guide to Outrageous Real Estate Success. Welcome to episode 5 of our Outrageously Successful Women in Real Estate series for 2018. We're so glad you're here. You are going to want to grab a paper and pen because I'm interviewing one of our own, my twin sister, Jan Copeland. And if you've seen her on the page, and I'm sure you have, you know that she loves to share and to give you her secrets, and she has a whole hour to do just that. So definitely want your paper and pen. You're going to hear about how she started. You're going to hear, her struggles when she, first tried to get in the business, because I think sometimes when you're looking at someone like Jan, who had a $40 million year last year with 27 million, that was her team's production, and with 27 million of her own, it's easy for someone early in the business to say, how did she do that? That can't be me. So it can be you. And that's one of the reasons that we're doing this series this year. So let me just give you just a brief overview of some of Jan's accolades so that you can see the caliber of person that we have here in our midst. And then we can get started. As I said, Jan has been a top 1% real estate agent. That's top 1% in the nation for many years. She's also been named the top 100 most influential agents in the state of Virginia. Last year, she was named Realtor of the Year in her local association. And again, her personal production was 27 million. Her team's production was 40 million, and that gave her a number 12 team ranking for production across the entire ERA franchise nationwide. Her team is in the top 3 for customer service in ERA with awesome testimonials. So that's really amazing. And really, there's so much more. She's been named in the leader circle in ERA, which is a big deal. And let's see, what else? Oh, and she's a listings queen. She averages about 55 listings personally per year. I just want to briefly summarize kind of what I said in the events, that I made for this. And I would encourage you, if you have not already done so, to head over to that events page. And there are links to Jan's Zillow, LinkedIn, and her website. But in particular, there are many here who kind of don't know what a good Zillow profile or a good LinkedIn profile looks like. So I encourage you to go there to check that out. But we're going to hear how Jan's pillar of success is really providing exceptional client care and wowing her clients at every turn. She possesses a natural design sensibility, and that's kind of her thing. And that allows her listings to really stand out and sell. Jan prides herself on getting her transactions to closing, and her average days on market consistently blow away the average in her area. So without further ado, let's say hi to Jan.
Hi, Hen. I'm excited to be here and share with you my little story. And really, I became a real estate coach because my heart hurts when I hear of an awesome lady in particular. I'm partial to women in terms of my coaching and helping. When I think they're amazing, and then I turn around and they're gone. I'm like, wait, what happened to Susie? Oh, she left the business. I'm like, why? Well, maybe the broker wasn't giving her what she needed. Maybe, who knows why, any number of reasons. So that's why Judy and I started Girl's Guide to Outrageous Success. And that's why I am sharing my sales strategy. I come from corporate, so I was corporately trained for marketing and sales strategy. And so I'm excited to just be here and share what I can with you all.
Excellent. How about we go into that background a little bit, Jan? Just briefly, can you tell the ladies what you did since college, really? That you were in sales pretty much all your life.
Yeah. So when I graduated from college, which I want to say that I paid my own way through, which is kind of important part of my story too, because Judy's my twin and she was an egghead. And so she was a straight A student, and she was Miss Pennsylvania Junior Miss runner-up because she played piano, and she was just like, she was a star and I was a bag of poop, okay?
That's not true,
I happened to be her twin, okay? So basically, my parents, were blue collar and they couldn't afford to send two, so I didn't go, but that was okay because I worked in a factory, and then I said, this isn't me. And I became a bank teller and went to the local business school. And then went on to get my bachelor's in fashion merchandising because I thought I was going to be in Manhattan as a buyer through the Macy's corporate program. Anyway, fast forward to when I graduated college, I had worked retail because I thought, again, fashion merchandising, retailing was going to be where I was going to land. But Manhattan scared the daylights out of me, and I wanted to make more money. I was a money chaser. So I went into what is now Verizon Wireless. Back then it was Bell Atlantic Mobile Systems. And I said I went for a job where it was 100% commission. I mean, you were on a $12,000 a year. This is back in 1988. $12,000 a year draw. So you had to pay that back. And anyway, so when I went in there, they asked me if I wanted to do inside sales, like in the stores. And I said, no way, I'm not doing it. And they said, okay, well, you don't have any outside sales experience. And I said, look, I'm not going to do inside sales. And I assure you, you can give me 30 days, I will perform and you can fire me. And guess what? They gave me a chance because I was so bold as to say that, right? At the age of 21. And then I just went up the ranks in corporate. And so I won't go into all that. But I guess what brought me to real estate, but I was on commission my entire corporate career, except for a 2-year stint when I went to corporate and was a senior director of marketing, but I forget what kind of visual marketing. So I had done all of the visual marketing for thousands of Verizon stores, and it was pretty awesome. But you didn't get paid that much. I got paid better out in the field in sales. So what I want to share with you is that when I became a realtor in 2007, my personal situation was that my son was in kindergarten or first grade, and we were about $90,000 in credit card debt. And I was kind of afraid to even start an entrepreneurial venture, but I couldn't leave my elementary school age child for a full-time job. And I also had a daughter who was like in middle school. So of course I didn't want to leave her either. So the reason I wanted to share that with you is that it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, we owed 2 car payments, a mortgage, 89,000 and some change on credit card debt. And it was kind of scary when we did this, when I became a realtor. So.
Okay. And what made you, Jan, decide real estate as opposed to some other entrepreneurial thing?
Well, as Judy talked about, I love interior design. Like, I don't care about clothing. This shirt was $16.99 at TJ Maxx. Actually, Marshall's, my daughter picked it out for me. But I'm really into interior design, and I'm nosy, right? So what kind of career can I like be nosy and see how people decorate and get decorating ideas being a real estate agent?
Ta-da! Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, how did you overcome that pressure of being so far in debt? Because, I talk to ladies every day, we both do, and that's a big thing that we hear. I can't do this or I can't do that because I have this big debt, and they kind of seem paralyzed in that. What did you do, or how did you deal with that in the background?
Well, I'm kind of smirking because I have a weird way of not dealing with it. Like, I wouldn't think about it. And I thank God that I was able to put that debt off to the left. And I said to my husband, I said, I'm going to have to spend money to make money. So I got a website when nobody else had one. I was one of the first realtors that had a smartphone. It was the old, what's that phone that you used to like?
BlackBerry?
BlackBerry, the good old BlackBerry. So my answer to that is I trusted God. I trusted myself and my sales abilities and my experience, and I tried not to think about it. And once a month when the bills came in, I would say, hey, Dan, we're going to get this paid off. And I'm debt free. So yeah, it took probably 3 years, but yeah.
Okay. And by then, were you doing the affirmations that we talked about during the 5-day challenge? When did that start? And did that help you through this beginning time?
Right. Absolutely. I am a big, big, big believer in affirmations. And because I believe what we speak comes out. After coaching so many ladies and, you know, having a team where both of my team members have become Rookie of the Year at ERA in their respective first years. And the other, one of them actually became Rookie of the Year for the entire association. And I think the other one will be this year too. But anyway, I've come to know women's stumbling blocks. And they are definitely negative talk and negative thought and negative focus. So as Judy knows, our mother was depressed and she had reasons to be, but for whatever reason, I said, God help me. And I just said my affirmations, which is positive present tense sentences, such as, and I say it every day, twice a day, first thing before you get up, last thing before you go to bed. You are speaking what you want, and what you focus on grows. And that's actually scriptural, biblical. And so it could be, I love being a 6-figure agent. Meaning I make 6 figures, whatever. So yeah, that really helped me.
So did you do that early on, Jan? I mean, how did you say?
Don't do it. When I don't do it, I get like not right. I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what do you think was it that set you up for 6-figure success? In other words, when you started, tell us if you can remember back to 2007, what did you do every day? Or how did you get to this point? Can you take us just a little bit summary what you did in the beginning?
Okay. So ladies, this is super, super important. Okay. One of the other, I think month 4, the other woman, Ashton, she said the same thing. And so it's a common thread between she and I. Failure was not an option. There was no way that I could fail. We had bills and my husband had a good job, but not enough. Okay. Just talking real. So I had a mentor at a very small company. I had a mentor that I kind of followed around and in 2007, that was when, it had already fallen or was in the process of falling bad and there were foreclosures left and right. And I was with her and we went to a Wells Fargo foreclosure. And I just thought, and I love the realtor as a person, but coming from business, I saw some things that she did that I didn't like and some things I did like. And so we left that appointment with her showing the buyer and I kind of, watched it. We came back, I go, so do you want to try to be a Wells Fargo listing agent? And she laughed at me and she goes, Jan, you're cute. She said, I can't just become a Wells Fargo listing agent. And I said, well, I know there must be some form you have to fill out. And again, she thought I was hilarious. And I go, I think I'm going to try. She goes, Jan, you have no experience. I go, well, I have business experience that other agents don't have. And she said, well, good luck, So then I went into my broker at the time and I told her I was going to do it. And she also patted me on the head. Oh, you're cute. Go ahead and try that. 2 weeks later, I got approved. And I was the last agent to be approved to be a Wells Fargo foreclosure listing agent in my area. And so, of course, my mentor was shocked. My broker was shocked. And so my first 10, 12 listings were crappy foreclosures because if you remember back then, whether you were in the business or not, I'll share with you that I found dead dogs in houses. People would take wet concrete and pour it down toilets to mess up the septic systems. I mean, it was ugly. It was brutal. And I won't get into the details, but my point is I would take a $50,000 listing, even though my market average at the time was probably 220. Now it's about 260, 270. So I did what I had to do. I took chances. I thought positively and proactively about my career.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And again, you think pivotal was, I'm going to make it. And that's it.
That's right. And then the other thing, ladies, is that whether, when I was new, I shared this before, but I don't know if everybody that's going to listen to this has heard it, but my first listing outside of a foreclosure listing was a woman, a real nice single mom. And she was selling a house that was kind of like average, $240,000. And I was the last one that she was interviewing. And she said, well, I know, I think you sound really excited, but you know what, you're brand new and I have such and such, and he's like a top performer. And so ladies, we have to use what we have, right? So I said, well, let me ask you this. I know that such and such, this man, is a top agent here. But let me ask you this. Do you think that he's going to pay as much attention to you and your home and getting it sold as I would? Because you'd be all I have. And with that, and then I talked about my business background. And with that, she said, you're hired.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, question. Do you think that the difference between getting that listing or not, I mean, you know, she could have said no or yes, but what type of importance do you place in the confidence with which you said that?
Yeah. I think that the conviction with which you speak, as well as the energy that you bring, is imperative. And quite frankly, I don't even think you need a presentation. Like if you're like me and you're a Bravo addict, and I love like $1 Million Listing New York, LA, all those, okay? And of course on TV, they don't see them bringing their listing presentation, right? And I always thought that was not true. But I went on a listing appointment yesterday, and I really didn't need my listing presentation. I start with asking lots of questions. And then, you know, I went over and I did point to a few things, you know, my statistics and my team statistics. And it's just the conviction with which you speak. Yes, it's scary to come up with a list price. What if it's not right? Whatever. But guess what? We're in the practice of real estate, ladies, just like a dental practice or a medical practice or an attorney practices law. We don't have to be perfect. I think that's like a noose around our neck as ladies. We have to be perfect. No. That's why I like our motto is imperfect action.
Yes. Yes. Intentional, massive, imperfect action. Love, love, love. Okay. Jan, let's switch a little bit about lead gen. You just mentioned early on, you got a lot of your leads from, you know, Wells Fargo as their foreclosure agent. Where else? Just again, you can go to now, but let's start back in the beginning. Where did you find your business?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and I do want to tell you that I got out of that business in 2010 because it got too rough. So I took a leap of faith. Where I got my business was a couple things. Number one, I actually wore my name badge everywhere. And I think I got my second and third listing from wearing my name badge. One was in a restaurant and one was at the grocery store. So definitely a proponent of wearing your name badge everywhere you go. And then the other thing was that I am a big, I don't want to say networker, because to be honest, I don't really like networking so much, because I just think it's so self-serving, but I know we have to do it. And I have a way around that now, because now I'm comfortable with it. But back then I really wasn't. But what I would do was I would really make everybody in my circle feel really good and make sure they knew that I was a real estate professional. So I'll give you an example. I was only in the business 2 years, and one of my friends was working at a senior retirement center in my market. And I said, you know, all the people that are moving in there, they're going to need to sell their houses because, you know, they're going there for their final destination. I said, could I interview or could I be one of your chosen agents? Yes. You know that made 3 of my years because I sat back. Ladies, we have to take time to sit back and think about who we know and what they're doing in their job, because it made her look good that I got her, the people who were moving in there, I got their homes under contract so fast and with such excellence that it was like she was helping me and I was helping her, because then they can move in faster, see, into the retirement community. So I think that I've become really an expert, and it started way back when, about that. Now, I also do want to say that I was an early adopter in Zillow. So if you look at my profile, you know that I've been a premier agent since 2008. And when I started, I think I was paying $250 a month. Ladies, in some markets, it works. And it works if you have the right attitude about it, because if I had 20 leads and I got one deal, I was happy with that. Okay. So for me, Zillow was a good help for me. Realtor.com did not work for me. And so I put a little bit in Realtor, a little bit in Zillow. And then at my height, I was paying like, I don't know, $2,200 a month on Zillow. And it was very worth it. Other things as far as lead gen was that in 2014, I started a ladies networking group here. And when I did that, I was well over, several hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in income because I got the online leads and then I got the in-market leads, and boom, that's when my team really started hustling.
Okay, before I move to my next question, can you just tell us a little bit more about the networking group and what it looks like, how often you meet, that kind of thing?
Sure. I believe that when women get together, it's very powerful. And hence Girls Guide and livyGirl Success Boutique. So I got a board together, and what I mean by that is I got a group of 6 other ladies, so it'd be 7 of us, who were in the know in the community, who I knew were upstanding entrepreneurs or people in the community that were connected. And I said, hey, I'm going to start this networking group that is going to meet once a month at a venue, which is a hotel, and we're going to offer lunch, and we're going to have shopping, and we're going to have a keynote speaker every month who's going to be sharing something entrepreneurial, business building, or even something mindset, because we know how important that is. And so we meet once a month at a hotel, second Tuesday of every month, like clockwork. And we have between, 75 and 9,800 people, women, every month where I'm at the podium. So ladies, in your market, and I'm actually going to do I'm working right now on a little mini course for that because I've perfected it, and it doesn't take that much time, and the rewards are amazing.
Okay, excellent. And I've been to a couple of your events, and they are really neat. And the shopping, what Jan was talking about, I mean, it's just great because then you feature some vendors who want to throw some money toward, the cost of everything to have a 6-foot table and peddle their wares. I mean, it's just a win-win-win all the way around. Let's talk a little bit about market stats and talk a little bit more about why your listings sell so quickly. And to that, I just want to say one thing. Ladies, when Jan told me one time, some of her colleagues would say, wow, how do you get all the beautiful listings? No wonder they sell quickly. They look like model homes. And Jan said, ta-da, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm a big believer in staging. I got my staging certification. Not that I needed it because, like Judy said, I'm very interested in it. If I have any extra time, my head is online at Pinterest or in traditional home or some magnolia or some kind of decorating thing. So basically, I have guts and conviction that when I am in a listing appointment, I share 2 possible list prices with my clients. One, if I were to put a sign in your yard right now, this is what your home should be listed at. And by the way, this is what you can expect to receive. Whereas if you were to do maybe these 3 or 4 things, painting this, let's get the carpets cleaned or replaced, and maybe 1 or 2 other things, then here's your price. Now they always want this price, right? The higher price. But I explain to them with conviction, and I'm going to go through all this at the listing intensive mid-September. We have a beach listing intensive. So anyway, I'll let Judy talk more about that, but I'm really excited because I'm going to share everything, and it's going to be a working intensive where you're going to leave there ready to go. We're going to leave there ready to go, hit the ground running. But there's a method to the madness, and you have to have enough confidence to share what needs to happen, and you need to know your market. So one of the things I did when I started was, I would go preview home after home after home after home after home after home, and I would go through solds to say, okay, what did this have? This didn't have this. This had hardwood. Okay, and you get to know what buyers want. Okay, and so then your job is to make sure that you present your listings creme de la creme, so that you don't get low ball offers, and so that in fact you get multiple offers. And those are some words that I use when I'm in a listing presentation. But and then I have a staging inventory in my garage that we know that three things sell homes, ladies. We know this, right? Light. Everybody likes light. How many times have you taken a buyer to a home and the buyer says, ooh, dang, it's dark. No good. Light, uncluttered, clean. So a lot of times people have the dark walnut cabinets with Uba Tuba granite, and you're like, oh my gosh, how dark is this kitchen? Everybody wants white right now. So then I have a ton of white accessories. Probably, I go to Home Goods, probably $800 worth. And I just bring it on picture day. And I have a great photographer, and she and I move stuff around, or a team member of mine comes with me. And man, the pictures are wowed such that my sellers, they always 100% of the time say, I don't want to leave. You made my house look so good.
That's pretty neat. Okay. So tell us how that translates into your stats and how they compare to the average.
Okay. So in my market here, the average is about 50 some days. And ladies, that's average. I mean, that's including your overpriced listings, your dogs, and I call a dog something that needs to be renovated, or is being sold as is, as well as the nice ones that are priced right and everything. So, and our team days on market is 14. So we can say with quite, confidence that we can get your home listed and sold, or rather listed and under contract, on average 2 weeks. And that's because in our market right now, I'd say for the last year and a half, very low inventory. And so when you take the time up front with your seller, you rise to the top, and then your listings go under contract.
Okay, excellent. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about social media. Mm-hmm. And tell us what social media platforms that you and your team have been on, and kind of what your philosophy is on all of that.
Okay. So, as one human being, I can only do so much, and I don't want to, I can only share what I know. So I can tell you what gets me deals. In addition to my Zillow profile, my LinkedIn gets me deals. And the reason for that is because I give and I get testimonials, as well as those other things. I forget what they're called.
Recommendations?
Yeah, I get recommendations and then the pluses. So if you go to Janice Copeland, you'll see that people have recommended me, they've endorsed me. So I think LinkedIn, 500 plus, I think I have 1,500 people. I got a listing one time, and the lady said, well, between you and the other person, I went to your LinkedIn, she has 200 and some people, and you have, well over 1,000. Why would I want somebody that doesn't have 1,000 people they know? So I believe in LinkedIn and having your profile looking amazing. I believe in having a Facebook page. And here's the thing, ladies, even if you feel like a failure, which I have felt on my Facebook page because there's not much engagement, right? It doesn't matter, because what we're doing is we're chasing the touches, right? So what I mean by that is the more they see you, it's going in their brain that you're the one they need to contact. So Facebook has been amazing for me and my team, because we reach out every day on Facebook Messenger. So we, as a team, we know who we want to connect with, and we reach out on purpose through Facebook Messenger. So I don't believe in buying Facebook ads. I'm not saying it's bad. For me, I don't do it. But I believe in Facebook Messenger. And because I'm older or whatever, I'm a slow adopter to Instagram. But 2 ladies on my team are doing Instagram, and they are also growing their following like crazy. And so I see the light on Instagram.
Okay, excellent. All right, how do you stay on track on a day-to-day, Jan, when you have, $40 million on your team, $27 million for the year? How do you keep track of everything?
Okay. So like Ashton, I work from the minute I get up till the minute I go to bed. I don't know what to tell you, ladies. I mean, I really don't. You want to make over $500,000 a year, heading to $1 million a year, you have to work. And I don't say that in any other way other than I have to be honest. Okay. But I do want to say that it comes easy for me. And I took off like 5 days to play with my granddaughter last week. So whatever. So I guess I don't work every day, but when I work, I work. I am very organized. I have a Team Up calendar. It's free, teamup.com. And so at any point in time, my team and we know where each other are at any time. And it's wonderful because it's on my phone. So I don't, I can just go to the app. Boom, I see what I'm doing. It's just a wonderful thing. So Team Up is definitely a tool that I use. Secondarily, this iPhone is a business tool. it is a business tool that I get so much productivity out of. And I'm also writing something up, a little mini course on that, because when I share what I do with my team, they're like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. I'm like, really? I always do that. So, you know, I just take advantage of technology such that a 52-year-old brain can do. But because I'm really not, I wouldn't consider myself technologically savvy. And then thirdly, we have through ERA a CRM called Zap. And Zap is pretty amazing. I was going to leave it and go to Contactually because I've heard so many great things about Contactually. So, but ERA gives it to me for free. So why would I want to not use that? So I set any buyer lead or seller lead, any past client, they're in there, and they're on a, I hate that word, trickle or whatever, you know, they're on a campaign. I like to call it a campaign. So, and then, you know, what we do is we touch them at least 8 to 9, 10 times a year. I mean, we touch them a lot so that they can, and we do it in different ways to keep it fresh, because people get sick of a monthly newsletter that's boring. So you just keep it fresh.
Okay, excellent. Let's talk about referrals and working your inner circle. Can you tell us how that's developed over the years and what you're currently doing now?
Okay. So ladies, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to have a giving attitude. And I believe that Zig Ziglar, who I say Zap, now I say Zig. I like the letter Z. But Zig Ziglar is pretty much an amazing guy who is deceased. But he was kind of a forerunner in terms of sales and sales success and motivation. And what he says is, if you want to get what you want, you need to help enough other people get what they want. So from the bottom of my heart, when I network, I tell people, I always want to hear about them. I don't care if they know what I do. I say, so what do you do? And then I say, okay, and what are you looking for? What do you need? And I say, and the reason I'm asking is because every month I want to give at least 25 leads out. Okay. And are they always going to turn into business? No. Or maybe they might need a babysitter, or I don't know, I don't know, whatever they might need. It's not always about business. It's about listening to someone and showing interest. And so the fact that I give leads, they come right back. I have probably 5 cheerleaders who aren't my past clients, who are friends here in my market, who constantly give my name out. So it's a beautiful thing. And because of our follow-up program, you know, I recently called up a young couple, young to me, they're probably 32, 33. And I said, hey, you know, your 3-year anniversary is coming up. Happy house anniversary. What's going on? And, well, we're pregnant with the second. We're thinking about maybe moving, but she's due in September, so we think we're going to wait. And I go, really? You think it's going to be easier if you wait? I said, look, you're going to have, you know, how old's your baby? 2. Okay, so you have a 2-year-old, which I knew from Facebook. But anyway, you have a 2-year-old and you're going to have a newborn. Believe me, you want to get this done now while that baby's still in the belly and you only have 1 to contend with. Guess what? We got their house listed within 18 hours, full price cash. Unbelievable. Glory to God. And yesterday we got them under contract on their house. We're closing both June 14th. And I called them 2 weeks ago. Boom, boom, boom. So ladies, it works when you follow up with your past clients.
Excellent. Excellent. How about client appreciation parties? Do you do that at all?
Client appreciation parties. Yeah, every year we have, and I know we should do more, but I'm just being honest. We only do once a year. And we make them like black tie. We make them adult only. And, well, I should say that this year we just became a sponsor of the Lego exhibit at the museum. And so we are going to have something for the family. But for the last 3 years, we've had it like either Christmas at one of our teammates' house. We went to the museum and had them out on the grounds with champagne and chocolate. I don't think we had chocolate. That would have melted. Champagne and something. I forget. And then we had it at the chocolate bar one winter because we like to, you know, change it up like October, November. And so we had chocolate wine and chocolate and gave away a lot of giveaways. And guess what? It didn't cost that much because I have my home inspector, my title company, my lenders helping to pay things. They're there too. And so the people that come to the VIP parties refer me and the team. So it works. You got to get them there.
Okay, you just hit on something that I had totally forgotten about, but I'm so glad you mentioned it because this is critical, I think, to really breaking into the multi-six figures. You talked about your posse, right? Your inspectors, your contractors. Tell us about what you have established for yourself and how that's helping you in your business.
All right. I purposefully many years ago chose not to use who everybody else was using. Okay. I chose to go off to the right a little bit and do some research. And my contractor will come out in about 2 hours and drop whatever he's doing to come give an estimate, either for a listing, so because I want to get this house listed, so we need to help the seller get stuff done, or because I'm under a tight timeline for the home inspection on the seller side. So I have an amazing contractor who drops everything for me. I have 2 painters, both of whom are amazing, and I think they both undercharge, and I've told them that. I have a great lawn service guy who, again, will drop what he's doing to come give me an estimate, especially for listings for my sellers. I have 2 flooring guys, a plumber, 2 electricians. And I'm not saying they all jump when I say jump, but what I'm saying is that I want to refer them business. They're on my website. Most of them should be on my website, janetdanteamblog.com. So I'm saying, hey, you cater to me, and I promise we'll cater to you. So I think that's so important. My lender, my title company, you have to have a supporting posse tribe around you, because I couldn't do it alone. Absolutely not. You need that, because I forget some things, and the title company will say, Jan, where's the termite? Oh, all right, I'll get on that. And then I call my termite guy, who knows that I'm always last minute Lucy, and that's okay, right? Because he comes in and gets it done. So yeah, you have to have your posse, and you have to have great relationships, and make it easy for other people to do business with you.
Okay. And to that point, I'm just thinking, as a practical matter, you and I, it's easy for us to just, talk to people. Not everybody in real estate has that ease. So can you walk us through that initial call with a contractor or a painter? Maybe your initial painter wasn't that great. Now you're trying to find another go-to source. What do you say, and how do you approach that?
It's been a while. Well, I just say, look, I remember the last guy I got was a contractor. Okay. And this is my contractor for the last 2.5, 3 years. And I forget who I even had before him, because he's so amazing. I said, so would you come out and do, I said, I met him at a job of one of my clients, and I said, hey, do you need business? And he's like, well, yeah. And I go, okay, are you Class A? And he said no, but now he is. I got him to be Class A. But anyway, he goes, no, but I go, how long have you been in business? Da, 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 da. So I kind of vetted him. And then I go, well, here's the deal. Do you know real estate's like really, really fast, meaning that it's very fast paced? Would you be okay if I were to call you and say, hey, can you come give an estimate in 24 hours? He goes, sure. I go, and then if we need the work done fast, could you do that? And I go, because here's the deal. I am not a pain to work with, but my timeline is a pain to work with. And, but my last my contractor's son came down with cancer, and thank God he's okay. That's what happened. That's how I lost her. And she was like this too, get it done. And so I said, how about I'll just call you for my next 2. And I had no one else to call, because my contractor's son got cancer, and she was done for that short time. And so really, I just lay it on the line and say the truth. Look, I need a good go-to contractor. And can you wait till closing to get paid?
Come on, Jan.
Yeah, I do.
Do they agree with that?
Well, some do, some don't. And if it's a big job, he'll say, I need materials up front, and then he waits. And I don't want to take advantage of anyone, because he told me that he made over $250,000 last year. Okay. Not just from me, because, but me and my team, and he has rental management he does for someone else. And then with our buyers, sometimes they want to do jobs. So in other words, it's, hey, coming with me as a realtor, ladies, is what you say, no matter how big your business is, whether you've sold one or none. Okay. You want to solidify that relationship and say, you know what? One hand washes the other, meaning, if you become my right hand contractor, my go-to contractor, handyman, the amazing thing is that eventually, and hopefully sooner than later, one of my clients is going to want a reno, and I'm going to suggest you. So it's kind of like a promise of work, but you keep your promise and you refer him out at all times.
And again, the old adage, it doesn't hurt to ask about, hey, can we, my buyer or my seller, as the case may be, has tight funds. Can you wait? They may say yes, may say no, but it's worth the ask.
Yeah, I always ask. Yeah.
Okay. How about we talk about farming? What are your thoughts on farming, and what are you doing in that regard?
Farming is amazing. I used to do a lot of it. Now I don't need to. The two girls on my team, the two ladies on my team are farming. And I believe that if you go into farming with the right idea, I'm all about it. If you go into farming thinking, dang, I dropped 300 postcards twice and I didn't get anything, I'm out of here, save your money. You have to have a plan. And I think the plan is either in livyGirl.com, a livyGirl community, or I have a program on it. I can't remember. But basically, if you're in the group coaching, you'll definitely learn about it. You have to do a mixture of things, okay? And so, yes, you drop the postcard, and then you go door knock, and then you do the Facebook ad. This is where I do believe in Facebook ads, where you put the center of your farm in the
audience location.
Your audience, right? And that way they see you. Then you create a Facebook group with the name of the HOA, not the HOA, the name of the community, because you can do it. You don't need permission. And then you go door knock. Or if you don't want to door knock, then guess what? Say, send something out that says, I'm going to be sponsoring a community yard sale. And one of my clients, and I talked about this, and she did it, and it was very successful. She actually got 2 listings from it, where she didn't want to door knock. And I said, okay, then don't, because I believe in brand you. Do what you want to do. Do what feels comfortable for you. But what we did was she made door knockers, door handle things. What are those things called? Leave behind.
Door hangers?
Door hangers, yeah. And it said, I'm sponsoring this yard sale, and here's a contact, let me know if you want in. So out of maybe 130 houses, she had maybe 28, 29 families do it. She put the ads in the paper. She put the ads online. She went to the county and got any kind of permits or whatever was needed in her area. And that morning, and then she bought signs, okay, directional signs that said sponsored by with her logo. And then that morning, she and her team, which part was her daughter, her son, and one assistant, walked around with orange juice and coffee and donut holes that morning, and walked around. And she just kept going. The entire 3-4 hours, she just kept walking around. She got 2 listings from it. So you have to be involved. Sponsor the Easter Bunny, Santa. I really believe in farming, but you have to have a long-term goal. Like maybe at least do it 6 months before you give up, and know that you're going to have to spend some money. Because if you do want a door knock, I believe that you should have a door hanger and put it in a cellophane bag with a gift. Even if as long as it's not summer, candy, or something that's not expensive but yet gets their attention. It's kind of similar to a pop-by, only it's like a cute little surprise by the door. So I don't know, I'm into farming. I believe in it.
Okay, awesome. Let's talk about what do you see are the biggest mistakes agents make? You mentioned earlier about awesome ladies that you thought would have made it and they walked away from the business. What are you seeing are the mistakes they're making to get them to just throw up their hands and say, I quit?
Number 1 is negative attitude. And they might not even realize they have a negative attitude, but it's getting in the way of their pushing through. Number 2 is fear. I think that when you go to get your license, they scare you. I know I was scared. They're like, you could lose your license if. You could lose your license if. Ladies, guess what? We're in the practice of real estate. We don't know it all, okay? So, but you can't be successful in fear, okay? Thirdly, I think not being able to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Look, it's a people business. I'm better talking to all of you than I would be talking to anybody one-on-one. I feel like I know some of you, obviously, from Girls Guide, and if you're my coaching clients or my group coaching clients. But I still am not wild about one-on-one, you know, connecting in terms of networking. However, I go outside my comfort zone and do what I have to do to make connections. This business is all about connection. So, you know, some people are proponents or advocates of wrapping your car with your logo. I think that's fabulous, but I drive way too fast, so I don't want to call attention to myself. So that wouldn't work for me. Okay. But it works for some people. So, but I think fear, negative attitude, not pushing yourself, and then too much looking around. Oh my gosh. Instead of focusing on brand you, instead of focusing on who you are and what your strengths are, you're looking at George. Oh man, why didn't I think of that? Look at that. Look at that hashtag. That's perfect. Oh, that guy, he always gets the listings, you know. No, don't focus on other people. You got to be true to you, focus on you. So that's, I think, the biggest. Oh, and the other thing is we don't ask for the sale. People that I coach, real quick, people that I coach on the initial call, I usually say, so tell me when you're meeting with a buyer, what's your dialogue? They never ask for the sale. They never ask if they can be their buyer's agent. Similarly, I say, okay, so you're in somebody's house. Walk me through what happens in a listing appointment. And then at the end, I say, okay, well, thanks for having me. It was really nice. And if you have any questions, let me know. And they never say, I'd like to be your agent. May I be your agent? Are you ready to move forward? Big, big problem.
Okay, interesting. Okay, now it's kind of related to that. The issue of scripts. We know from being on Girls Guide and so many other really great Facebook groups out there for real estate agents, a lot of times somebody will say, you know, they're waving this, what appears to be a magic bullet. Hey, if you want this, put your email below. And there's like hundreds of people. And what are your thoughts on that? Just talk to us a little bit about scripts.
It kind of pisses me off because there are people who I think they don't really want to help. They just want to get money. And so, you know, it's like a lost leader. A lot of times it's send out cards. Now I don't have anything against send out cards. So if anybody's on here with send out cards, I believe in it. It's all about it. I'm all about it. But to send somebody a thing saying, I have the system for you to win. And then it's, you know, join my webinar about send out cards. So it really makes me sad that people, ladies, men, ladies, I'm talking to ladies, so that lady real estate agents think that there's a script. If I could only memorize that script, man, if I only knew what to say, if I only knew what to put in my listing presentation, if I only. Look, what works for me, okay, works for me because it's my conversation. And I don't like the word scripts, I call it conversations. What works for Susie is going to work for Susie. So I just feel like I lost my train of thought. What was that? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'll just finish that up. I'm sorry. I feel like menopausal moment. I feel like I want to cry when I look at a post and they say, I have this. You have to get it. It's the latest thing. And 1 million people give their email. And it's almost like I picture a baby bird that was just born. And, you know, the baby bird has their mouth open and just wants their mama to put it in there so they can survive. And ladies, you are thrivers. You are not survivors. Okay? If you have a survivor mentality, if you focus on how much money you owe in credit card debt, if you focus on what you don't have, oh, I'm not tall enough, I'm not skinny enough, I don't have the right clothing, a car, whatever, then you're in a survivor mode and you're not going to make it. You have to be in thrive mode. You're ready to go. You're expecting to thrive.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So we had a question. One of the ladies asked, how can we find your people on Instagram that are growing their following? Do you have their handles?
Hold on.
Or should we just get back to them in a bit?
Okay. I mean, hold on. I can find it real fast.
Okay.
It's realtor _ Steph _F. Okay. Realtor _ STEPH _ F. And she's amazing. And then Catherine with a K _ Wetzel, WETZEL _ sells _ homes. Catherine _ Wetzel _ sells _ homes.
Okay, excellent. How about one more thing about people trying to really get their business going, like jump starting, whether they're just starting out or whether they've kind of reached a plateau and want to take it to the next level. What do you think is the best advice for them to do to really get their business moving?
Absolutely. Ladies, you have to first start with brand you. And what that means is get quiet. Okay. You're going to work on your business, not in your business. And you're going to say, what do I like? Why did I get into the real estate business? Here's the point. Everybody's busy, but everybody's nosy. So the engagement on social media, any engagement should be about you, right? It should be your story. You should tell your story, why you got into real estate. And that's compelling. Okay. So you as brand YOU becomes, the brand. You are the brand. Okay. So I believe that you need to come up with who you are, how you want to present yourself, and you can recreate yourself if you've been in the business a couple of years, whatever. And then you be consistent in one online and one offline or in market. Okay. And then grow up to 2 and 2 and then stay there. The problem is, we as realtors, our emails are everywhere. So we get inundated. Oh, do this. Oh my gosh, you need this, you need that. Okay. No, you need to stay focused on brand you, brand YOU. Who do you want to help? Who's your ideal client? And then make your story focused on serving that client and make sure that you look great online. Okay. For my clients, I come from a corporate background. LinkedIn is a slam dunk for me. Okay. As well as Facebook is a slam dunk for me. My age group of ideal client is there. And I have some Pinterest boards and I actually love my Pinterest, but, I haven't been able to keep up with that. And I do have a Instagram, but my point is just make sure you look good. Google your name and make sure that you look good. You need to have a Zillow profile, ladies. I don't care if you're not a premier agent. You need to have a realtor profile, a homes.com profile. You need to really look good online so that when people Google you, you matter. Okay. So in conclusion, or you're putting it up in a bow, you're going to focus on you. You're going to get together the plan of who do you want to serve? How do you want to present yourself? All right. Come up with your story. Everybody likes a story and we all have a story, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. All right. The vulnerability, look, even when I was 90 grand in debt, I wasn't embarrassed to tell someone. It happens. Right. So I was never embarrassed about it. It didn't make me a bad person. And then focus on, based on who you want to serve and how you're going to put yourself out there in your story, choose 2 or 3 social media and make sure you look good on Zillow, realtorhomes.com.
Okay, excellent. Can you tell us, I know we're running out of time. Time goes so quickly. Yeah. Talk to us about when you built your team and in a very summary fashion, how you did it.
Okay. So my business took off like crazy and I needed help. So I asked my husband to get his license. So he was my first ad. And then he just had a full-time job, so he just did it part-time. And then one of my clients was getting divorced and she needed a job. And I thought, hey, did you ever think about being in real estate? It'd be great. She had 3 little kids. Great. And then it just comes over time. And now I have people that are asking me if they can join the team, and then I can be selective with who I let in and who I don't. So that's kind of how it works. It's just virtual assistants. Yes, I had 1 virtual assistant. I had a full-time assistant for many years, and now virtual assistant works much better for me, right? Everybody's different. But anyway, my point is I guess I got my husband on the team, then I got the assistant in person, then I grew the team, and now we have a virtual assistant.
Okay. Let's shift gears to your future. So as of June 1, why don't you explain to the ladies what your plans are?
Okay, so I am in the process of selling my business, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm in that transition, and I am diving into real estate coaching full-time, effective June 1st. And right now, I guess we have 80 some clients in terms of group coaching or one-on-one coaching. And it's my passion. My passion is helping women, real estate agents, make multiple six figures and increase your confidence and increase your excitement about your job. Because unfortunately, many times people don't have the skills or the knowledge to keep lead gen on a consistent basis. So there's so many ups and downs. And I praise God, I've never had a month without a paycheck in all these years. Even when I started, I always had at least, some consistent money coming in. I've never done that. And people would say, you better put money away. And thank God I didn't need it because I didn't. But so yeah, I'm really excited. And it's my passion. And I believe I got into real estate because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what my passion is. And I did it very well. And I'm very thankful. I learned a lot. And now I'm ready to leave it happily with another awesome agent who's going to continue the excellence. And I really believe that I'll say this, the average agent does what needs to happen, kind of like checking a checkbox. Yep, I've done that. Yep, I met that contractual, term. But guess what? That doesn't get you remembered. That doesn't get you a good referral business. What gets you a good referral business, ladies, and a thriving multi-six-figure business is such engagement and connection with people. And that's the big focus.
Love that, Jan. And the passion comes through. So why don't you, being the listing queen, tell the ladies who they don't know, when you mentioned listing intensive, they didn't know about this. Only our clients, our one-on-ones and group coaching clients know about it. But now's a good time. And they won't be able to jump in until next week. Right. But why don't you give a little introduction on what's going to come up in September?
Okay. So Judy and I are from Philadelphia area, and my favorite place in the world is Avalon, New Jersey. It's the most beautiful beach I've ever been to, and I've been to several. I've been to Hawaii. Well, it's not better than Hawaii, but we're not going to Hawaii. All right. So I'll say Hawaii is number one. Avalon, New Jersey is number two. So what it is Judy and I want to take care of the whole woman. Okay. Because we know that as an agent, your whole life is encompassed into it. We have to schedule the kids and the date night and all these things around our business or around our, it's all interrelated, right? So what we're doing is we're having two sessions of 3-day, 2-night intensives where we're going to be sharing everything that I have my closing rate. When I don't close a listing, it's very rare. I mean, it's probably, if I don't get 1 out of 30, if I don't get 29 out of 30, it's weird. Okay. I mean, when I don't get a listing, it's odd. So I'm sharing with you everything, and it's going to be a working time. Okay. Where you're going to leave, like I said, with a listing intensive packet where you have everything you need. You're ready to hit the ground. Okay. But also we have some pampering planned. Okay. So who likes to be pampered? There's going to be a heated pool. We're going to go out for drinks and dinner. And we rented a big shore house, and we're excited. And it's about an hour from Philly, Jude?
Yeah, about 2 hours.
Okay. It's worth the drive, I have to say. And
2 hours for me from downtown. It's like an hour and a half, an hour and 20.
I think it was 2 hours. Yeah. Depends how you drive. But anyway, so it's mid-September. Judy will get the details out, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to come, because if you're serious about your business and you want to learn from somebody who is serious about the business, you need to be there.
Yeah, that's great, Jan. Thank you so much. And if there's any other questions, you can go ahead and put it in the chat as we wrap up. But we first offered, there are only 20 spots for the listing intensive, and a bunch of them are already gone. We don't have that many left, but I'm not going to be rolling out the listing intensive opportunity for Girls Guide until next week, probably right on Monday morning. But keep in mind, and if you are interested, and you should be, if there are any spots left by then, you need to jump on it, because I'm sure there are only 20 spots in the 2 sessions. It's not going to last very, very long.
And so the reason that there's only 20 spots, there's 10 for each time. We're going to have a 3-day, 2-night with 10, and another 3-day, 2-night with 10 people. And it's because I want to rub elbow to elbow with you, because we can learn so much through this, but how much more effective is it when you're in person, and when we can really get to know each other and and you'll just get so much out of it, and you'll probably be relaxed and exhausted at the same time, because we're going to, there's a science to how much time you can spend doing something and then go have fun, and then come back to it and go have fun. So if you're into, sisterhood, being vulnerable and challenging yourself, like anything, we're going to do some work, and it's going to be work, but then we're also going to have some fun. So I wanted to explain why it's such a small group. We are thinking about having an event in Richmond where, getting a hotel venue, but we're still planning that for fourth quarter. But this is an opportunity to really get connected with us and really work on your business and leave with tangible things in your hand.
Great. And again, that's coming up at the end of September, and you will hear more about that next week. It was great, very informative. Oh, you are very, very welcome. If there are no other questions, I think we're going to sign off. Thank you, ladies. This has been recorded, and we'll be putting it and making it available to you. So if you're listening to us recorded and you couldn't make it live, we hope you found it helpful as well. Oh, beautiful.
And I want to say one more thing. This is also, we are launching our podcast. So we had 4 others. If you missed them, this one and the 4 previous, and plus a lot of other amazing content is going to be on our new podcast. Judy, what's it called, and when are we launching?
It's livyGirl Radio, Real Estating for Women. And we're going to be submitting our first couple of podcasts to iTunes by the end of the week. So I've heard that can take as much as 2 weeks until it's actually on, but stay tuned and we will let you know when that is. Danielle has her hand raised, so let me see if I can unmute her. Let's see. There you go.
It's
Danielle?
Okay. I didn't mean to. No, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Type a message and just playing around. Forgive me.
All right. Okay, not a problem. All right, ladies. Thank you once again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jan. Have a great day, ladies.
You're welcome. Bye.
Take care.